this will put everything for everyone in the world into perspective.
All right, quarantine life day number. What day are we on, Barts? Do you know?
I really don't know anymore. Like, I don't even know what day it is. I swear to God, I have no clue what is going on anymore. Like, I'm in the middle of my house and I have no idea.
How are you surviving? You live alone. For those who don't know, Aaron and Atayde lives alone in an apartment. You don't have a dog. You don't have
No,
anything. Not
no.
anyone. Wow.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thank you for reminding me that. Thank you for plugging that right straight in there. Yeah, it's. I guess that's the reason why it would be nice to have this conversation and I don't even know what is this? Is this on your podcast or what is this?
Yeah, this is the unpaid version of That's Wonderful,
Oh,
aka
nice.
Adulting with Joyce Pring and Aaron Atayde. Another episode that we're shooting remotely from our homes. I haven't left my house in maybe a good 9 days. I really took the
Wow.
self yeah, I took self quarantining quite seriously because I have a lola who I'm very close with, my parents of course, and my husband's parents as well as pamangkin. So I really didn't want to take any chances by going out. The last time that I went to work was 2 Fridays ago or last Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, it's yeah 2 Fridays ago. So I'm staying at home. It's driving me crazy,
Hmm.
but I can't imagine how everybody else is doing. Parts, how are you doing?
Well, first of all, I am very lucky that until today I'm still very healthy. I have no cough. I don't have any like symptoms or anything like that. So first of all, that alone is like thank you Lord for making sure that that is happening right now. But I guess I just wanted to start out how this all got to me. So um, it was on the day of my birthday. We recorded an episode. I believe that came out today,
Yep.
um, and for this same podcast. And I was supposed to be going to Bali that day. I was supposed to get on a
Mhm.
plane, go to Bali, be there for 4 days, celebrate my birthday there. But as it turned out, we canceled it. We canceled our trip right then and there. Um,
Last minute, right? Like
Last
right
minute.
before you guys got onto the plane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was literally an hour before we were supposed to head to the airport when we decided, you know what, let's forget it. It's not worth it. Let's whatever the loss of money is going to be, then so be it. Because health is more important than wealth. So we decided, you know what, if we're there was no quarantine yet or anything like that. It was still like
Mhm.
open city and everything. So me and my friends are like, okay, the next day let's just go somewhere with a pool or something like that. Let's lock ourselves there before anything happens, and let's at least enjoy our final time before maybe a lockdown happens. And while we were there, that's when eventually they announced that there was going to be a citywide lockdown. Um, Luckily enough, when I was up there, that's when I did my grocery. I was in Batangas, and there
Yeah,
was
we were talking,
nobody.
right?
Yeah, there was nobody in any of the groceries in Batangas.
Uh-huh.
So we were all lucky enough to get our groceries done with nobody in the way. There was no lines or anything like that. And we came back down to Manila. I got my water, I got my laundry, everything. And after that, that's when I started my lockdown. And for 8, 9 days straight, I did not leave the house. The furthest I got out of my house was right outside the door to have more water delivered. And I just left the water there. I left the money. They knocked when my water was there. I left it there for like 2 hours. I was like, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. Wiped it down, brought it inside my house, and then yeah, that's how it's been for me so far. How about you?
Uh,
I mean, like for me, there's nobody here. For you, at least you have your husband.
yeah, we're fighting a lot. No, surprisingly, actually, Wancho and I haven't been fighting a lot. And I think it's nice because nagpaplastikan pa kami at this point kasi newly married pa lang. But I mean, I think more than anything, we've been really trying to consciously make an effort to make the environment healthy for the both of us. Meaning, we had to carve out space in our tiny apartment to make sure that, hey, this is your space. and
Mm-hmm.
this is my space. And when you have to work, we go our separate ways, and we work in our own stations, right? And I made a list actually of rules, of house rules.
You made
In
the
the
list.
Yeah, I made the list of which he approved.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, participation naman. He approved it. No, but okay, this is the importance. And for everybody listening, it's something that I think you should also consider putting together a house rules kind of thing for your
Mm-hmm.
household or for yourself to kind of keep yourself sane. So for me and Wancho, I kind of put together this house rules going like we can only watch maximum of two Netflix shows per day.
Okay, I like that. I
We
like
ha-
that.
or because the first 3 days we were just sitting in the couch watching Netflix the whole day, and at the end of it we were like, "Paano mo natin mapanood na?" So parang
Naubos na.
naubos na. So ration your Netflix, guys.
Yes, do that.
Yes, and more than anything, I did that to be productive, right? So parang
Mhm.
maximum of two Netflix shows for a day, which is why Love Is Blind actually lasted for an entire week on me.
I told you. Didn't I tell you it was good? I told you it was good.
It was so trashy and so good. Okay, and then another thing that I set was like exercise every day or at least 3 or 4 times a day, even if just for a short while. I put that.
Mhm.
Na parang kahit 20 minutes lang, move around the house, do a home workout. I had to, put that on the list. Another thing is I wrote down, stop eating like you're on vacation. You are not on vacation. Another thing that
Love
we
it, love it.
did,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? And then another thing was like play with Bowie, our dog, because
Mhm.
we can't really walk him around the compound. So we're just stuck at home trying to play fetch with him and making
Mhm.
sure that he's entertained. And the reason why I'm sharing this is not because I'm a genius or anything like that. I don't think that any of my rules were genius ideas, but more of I think in this situation, which basically kind of shows also it makes me remember all the world ending apocalypse movies I've ever watched. It's like I'm living that right now. You have to make adjustments in your life to make sure that your mental state and your emotional state and your spiritual state is just as healthy as your physical one, right,
Yes,
Parts?
I completely agree. And it's funny because the rules that you set for somebody that is living with your new husband, ironically, are the same exact rules that I have for myself. And there's nobody here. I went through 9 days of not seeing a single human being, and finally I had to go to the grocery and take my distance from everyone while I was doing it. But I have the same way. I tried yoga, and you know me, I'm not a yoga guy.
Wow.
I'm
Yoga
yoga
and
is
air in the title? What?
does not mix. But I thought to myself, I was like, okay, wait a minute. If there's gonna be one time that I'm gonna do yoga, and no one is going to judge me while I do it, now is the time to do it. How? Thankfully, I actually enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed doing yoga, and it was interesting to see that they are. I get it. I get the reason why people like it, and I agree with you. The rules that we might have set, we are in no way an authority on how to do it. This is something that
Yeah.
has never happened in the history of in recent history. I mean, nobody in the world right now knows how to handle this type of situation. So
Obviously, as we're seeing.
yeah. So I guess the best part, and I think I look at the rules that you made, and for some people they have something like that, but they're not necessarily, putting it into words the way that you and Wancha did. It was just being able to control the things that you can,
Mhm.
because
That's right.
at this point, the way that I look at it is people are looking for something that they can control, because everything seems to be out of control in society right now. And I like that you made a list like that, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking to be able to control things around us. And if that is simply being able to ration whatever food you have, or being able to ration whatever shows that you have, having
Mhm.
control of a situation that is uncontrollable is what is going to keep us sane. And I think that that is what I have been holding on to keep me sane in the same way.
Yeah, and honestly, on a more serious note, my husband and I had a conversation earlier today, and he said something like, I feel powerless. And I think a lot of people these days feel that same way. We feel powerless. And we were trying to hash out our emotions and the things that we were going through together. And I told him, it makes a lot of people realize, it made me realize that everything that you thought you had control of was just an illusion.
Yes.
Like, honestly, even in now that we're making these house rules, you're right, you're trying to control the things that you can, but most of the things in life, like how your health is going to be, like where you're going to end up, what's going to happen with your career, all of these things, you think that you set sort of some sort of boundaries, and you think you're going to be safe for the rest of your life. But this COVID-19 pandemic just made us realize that, at the end of the day, there really is nobody that's in control of what's going to happen with the entire world. And the only thing really that we can control is the way that we respond to it, right? Like, how do you respond to this situation? How do you adapt? Going back to the episode that we talked about, that we recorded a couple of days back, that I released today. The thing that you said, the characteristic that you said that all successful people have is adaptability,
Yes.
right? And I feel like it's because all successful people that we know are survivors. They thrive in their careers. They survive even if whatever their circumstances are. They survive because of their adaptability. And honestly, that's also the kind of characteristic that we'd want to work on and hone during these times.
Absolutely. And I know, I mean, I felt it myself. I know I want to go out. Even if I am an introvert and I don't usually like being around other people, you need to see people. And for someone like me who doesn't see anyone the entire day, yes, I do understand the need and the want to go out and to like really interact with somebody and have a conversation. But now is the time that we all need to make some sacrifices and just be like, okay, like for instance, yesterday, I went to the supermarket and I was able to pick up some stuff and I bought some stuff for some of my friends. They literally came in. They were standing on the other side of my house. I left the plastic out and I said, okay, it's over there. If you guys want to stay and have a conversation, you stay there. I will stay here and we will talk this through. So we had a little bit of a conversation there. They were on the opposite side of my house, way more than 1 meter away, and that was literally the way that we were having an interaction. I understand that we are all looking for it, and I think that that's honestly why I texted you last night and saying let's do something, let's talk, because we all need to have this already at some point. Will we be able to do it in like a big community level anytime soon? I doubt it. I really don't.
Yeah.
This is going to be life for the foreseeable future, and we need to get comfortable with it. And that's the usual thing right there.
So, what are the things that you've been realizing, or what are the lessons that you've been learning about yourself in all these days and hours that you've spent on your own? And
Oh my god!
I mean, honestly, like, you're not the first person to message me. I have probably like three other friends who messaged me. The other one, and I'll keep him anonymous, and he messaged. He was like, the reason why adulting with Joyce Pring is so important is because now young people have something that they can listen to with substance. Hindi lang yung kembot sila ng kembot.
Oh my
And
god!
I was like,
Balik
where
TikTok
did
na naman tayo.
TikTok na naman tayo? So I go, where did that come from? He was just like, and he was telling me it's because all of these days as he's spending in isolation, he's having a lot of self-awareness, a lot of
Yeah.
realizations, and he wanted to encourage me not to denounce or make fun of anybody who's enjoying something else. He's just saying that I want to encourage you with what you're doing, because now I realize it's something that's very important, stripped of everything that I have, work, all of these things, hobbies, friends, and even person-to-person interaction. So I'm sure you also parts. You're a deep thinker,
Oh
though
yeah.
people might not know that.
I mean,
um,
what? Si Aaron?
like, you're na tayo, yung nag-yoga.
Diba? Holistic na ako, diba?
Holistic ka na ngayon.
Namaste.
Namaste in bed. Okay.
I've literally thought about everything. I've thought about how I would, like you said, I thought about how I have shown myself to society. I thought about how society has looked at myself. But the one thing that I think I have really contemplated on, and to keep it within the entire realm of what's happening right now, it was a conversation that I immediately had with my brother, and it was that no matter whatever is going to happen with what is happening right now in the world, whether we make it or not, because obviously everything is still up in the air. This will put everything for everyone in the world into perspective. Because of this, who are the ones that mean more to your life than others. You have realized who are you checking up on every other day or every day, and you realize who are the people that mean so much more to your life than you might have realized any time before this. And I think that is something beautiful that we can look at this all. I mean, if I mean, I'm not saying that there's any silver lining or anything like that, but the one thing is that we can all look at this and just say, okay, I know who means so much more to my life than and I might have taken for granted before this, or how I acted and I might have been in certain situations. And now we can rectify that on such a more personal level and hopefully become better people in the world because of this.
Yeah, you know what you're talking about really is something that I actually also read about in an article. I forgot where, but it was a compilation of all these amazing thinkers and the predictions that they have that would happen right after the pandemic. So one of the things that they said was patriotism will be on such a different level, right? Connection with people will be on such a different level, and that's because like for me, one of the things that I also realized during this time, I was talking to Wanch about it. I said, I wish I had studied medicine, or I wish I had studied first aid at the very least, or I wish I had signed up for the army or anything like that that would really better help the communities and my country. And you would never think of those things if you're comfortable at home doing what you're doing, pursuing your career and being comfortable in your own way, right? And also I think more than anything, this whole pandemic is teaching us, like what you said, to value the people who we love most and making us realize who we value the most. It's also helping us to see beyond ourselves.
I absolutely agree.
Something that we would always talk about, right? Like me, I do constant work with charities. I represent charities. I do all of these outreach stuff, but I never really understood it and felt it on such a personal level until I saw how many people are suffering through it. Right?
Mhm.
Because every day, yung mga Pinoy naman are resilient eh. If people tell you that they're poor, it's usually like they're poor, yes, but they're working five jobs, like magsa sidecar yan, magbebenta sa palengke, magsa sideline kung saan, laging may ganun eh. And then you strip all those opportunities away, and then you're left with the reality that a lot of people have so much less than what they deserve and what they need to survive. And I think that's a deep realization that all the things that we have are really just privileges.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
huge privileges, right?
Yes, and I think that is where all of this stands right now. And I mean, I'm not gonna make this anything more than just me and you having a conversation about the situation. But the one thing that I will point out is that when we notice and we really put into check our privilege, that is where you see who is acting what way and how. Um,
Mm,
I think that the who we really are is being shown at this point.
yeah.
If you are empathetic, if you are not empathetic, if you feel patriotic, if you feel like you need to do something more, if you feel like you don't need to do anything at all, this will reveal who we really are in the world today. And I applaud people like a good friend of both of ours, Chuck Araneta, who's doing his very best to try and get N95 masks out to as many hospitals as possible, doing his
Mm-hmm.
own work. or whether it was anyone that donated in any which way possible, whether your contribution is big or small, a contribution is still a contribution. Now, if you look at your privilege and you think that you deserve it, if you think that that what you have in the world is a chip on your shoulder and you still deserve more, then that is going to be coming out into the entire world as well.
Yeah, that's true. You see the most selfish people being even more selfish these
Yeah.
days, right? Which is, by the way, why I love the platform. I saw that you were watching it on your Instagram
Yes.
stories. And then one of my
Yes.
friends actually messaged me and he told me that I should watch it. And in the first 5 minutes of the movie, I texted him. I was like, is this a representation of the socioeconomic problems that the Philippines is? Because
Right?
it looks like definitely is. And then I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but that's the if you think deeply into the movie, that's what you're gonna get. And it just made me realize so many things that I already know, but then to kind of see it so artistically represented on screen was
Yes.
really good.
Yeah, it was so interesting. So obviously, now that it's in lockdown, I'm watching everything. I'm anything possible. So
Okay, so
the
top
day,
five parts or
yeah.
top three from
Ooh,
everything that you watched
sige,
that
sige,
you
sige.
would recommend to people.
Okay. So immediately, well, since we talked about the platform, top three, the platform has to be there. It's a Spanish movie, I believe, that they did dub. Don't worry about it. You don't need to read the subtitles. It is dubbed into English. You can enjoy it that way. I loved the platform because you're right. It has such a great and deep socio-political, socio-economical like message that is being sent, and then whoever is higher, it's so good. But come into it with an open mind. It's
Mhm.
very very dark and very very grim, but so is the rest of the world right now. So enjoy it, right? Hey, see it represented in the Netflix show. Netflix movie. The second one, oh, Tiger King. Oh my God, Tiger King. Okay, so first of all, before I go into that, one thing that I will suggest to each and every one of you guys right now, and I know, Joyce, you would be interested in this as well. It would be easy to jump into watching some TV show that will just burn brain cells in your head and get you through
Mhm.
the day, and that is cool. And that's why I will take your two Netflix shows per day and kind of step it up a bit. If you can make one of them a documentary series, so that in the time like this you
Mm.
can still learn something, learn about other people's way of life, learn about, I don't know, watch animals or something like that, watch The Hunt or like Planet Earth or something like that,
Mm.
just so that you can educate yourself as well in a situation in a time like this, so that you can learn something on the way. Now,
Yeah.
the recent documentary that I watched, it was called Tiger King. It's a seven episode mini docu series on Netflix. I see you shaking your head. You're like, man, what is this guy going to talk about?
Yeah.
Did you know? Okay, did you know, Joyce, that there are more tigers in captivity in the United States than there are in the rest of the world?
What? I did not know that. That's
See?
actually new information for me.
That is,
Thank you.
and it's absolutely true. There are more tigers in captivity in the United States than there are in the wild. So this documentary is about a guy named Joe Exotic who has a zoo. I know. Oh no 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 no! This is so much weirder than just his name. Oh,
Joe
it's
Exotic is the least weird thing about this documentary.
that is like the stem on the cherry, on the whipped cream, on the ice cream, on top of the cake, on top of gold bars. Like it's
Wow.
the weirdest thing. You could not predict where this documentary was going. No, no chance there was no chance in the world. No way. So I suggest it's like a 45 to 50 minute per episode documentary, 7 parts. It is insanely outrageous, but you will thoroughly be, I don't want to say it's good, but you will be thoroughly entertained just hoping to find out what in the world is going to happen next. So that was it, Tiger
Okay.
King.
Okay,
And
good. Good suggestion.
the third one, I started watching the Marvelous Miss Maisel, which it's an Amazon Prime show. where it's like a timepiece kind of show.
I saw the trailer for this one.
Yeah, so she's a stand-up comedian, and you know me, I love stand-up comedy. I love stand-up comedy for years. It's always been like one of my go-to things. So it was a good like break from watching something like Platform, which was so heavy, and watching Tiger King, which is so weird. So the marvelous Mrs. Maisel was a great break from all of that. So yeah, those are the three suggestions I have for you guys.
Yeah, so Aaron is always the best person to ask when it comes to show suggestions. He'll give you the best ones to either, and it's diverse. Ha, you have the
Yeah,
educational, you learn something, and then the super grim mystery type, and then you
artsy,
also have
di
the
ba?
the artsy, the funny one. So if you need suggestions, go to at Aaron Atayde or listen to the podcast. We'll keep updating you guys with shows that you can watch. I also have seen. Have you been seeing this with your friends? I've been seeing a lot of my friends enrolling to universities online.
I have some friends that really started getting into it. I didn't. I want to know how it's done. So because I want to take some classes as well.
Yeah, it's so easy. So you can just search. For example, Coursera is something that I've been using for a while now. It's for free. It gets you connected to a lot of subjects, really. And these are professors, professionals. I know John Mayer used to have a Coursera under Berkeley Music
Is
on
that why you
songwriting.
took it?
Yes, of course, just to see. I mean, look at me. I mean, look at my shirt,
Oh
bro.
man!
This
Wow!
is. I
Wow!
mean, it
Nice.
started there, and then that's also how I found out about Oxford when I went to Oxford in 2016. Everything's just through online. My friend Faith is taking up brand management in University of
Nice.
London.
Nice.
uh, then Lucas, I think, is doing Columbia University,
Hmm.
and so many. Aren't you just amazed that so many companies are making their lessons for free, available for free online?
I am
It's
absolutely.
crazy.
I love the fact that they're doing that because, like I was saying a while ago, you're sitting around. You have an opportunity to either one waste this time or to make something of it. You're not going to be. Who knows? Like when will I don't know if we're ever going to have anything like this ever again. So I hope one everyone stays healthy, and if you're going to be self quarantine and you're already there, do something with the time. And I think that one either watching documentaries and learning that way, or even better, like what you said, take classes. I love that. So what are you
Yeah.
taking now?
I'm not taking anything because I'm borrowing through the books that I've been wanting to read. So I am in book number three parts,
What are you
and
reading?
I'm reading Norse mythology at the moment.
What?
So the first book that I borrowed through during this, like, I've been in quarantine for 9, 8, 10 days maybe,
Uh-huh.
and I love reading, so I read quite fast. Like I've read a couple of articles. I keep reading things, right?
Hmm.
And the one book that I would suggest to you that I think you'll also love is called Big Magic by
Ooh.
Elizabeth Gilbert, and she's a writer. She's the one who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. And the whole book is really just about the creative process of an artist or of a creative. And she would describe ideas as living, breathing souls that come to people or that you have to kind of chase and pursue, right? So it's a really
Mhm.
interesting book, which I loved. The second book that I read is called The Reading Life. It was a compilation of a couple of essays by C.S. Lewis that talks about how important reading is, or at least for the reader. And now I'm reading Norse mythology because I wanted to know how Odin sold his other eye to get all the knowledge in the universe. And apparently, he had two brothers. So, Vin, Ve, and Odin. Yeah, or
Yeah,
something.
I actually have to start reading something. I have to start reading this book.
Hey!
Yay! Because this was Joyce's birthday gift to me, so I gotta get reading on this. So I gotta get down on this. It's
Yeah, it's
really,
a
really
once a
good.
day thing, so I think you like it. I,
Oh, okay.
I wrote on the page, I said, don't knock it till you try it
No,
parts.
I'm not. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. I swear. I will. I will definitely get in on this because I mean I have a lot of time right now, and yeah. So I want to get into a course, and then I'm going to start reading that as well.
Yeah, and we're obviously we're speaking from a place of privilege and comfort. Like
Definitely,
obviously
definitely.
we understand that not everyone has the comfort of staying at home, working from home like what we're doing now, get in touch with friends and doing our hobbies and doing all of these things. When you look at the news, obviously it's a lot of grim news, a lot of difficult things that's happening around us. But then again, as we mentioned earlier, as Aaron pointed out, everything that you cannot control, you can't choke the life out of. Like
Yes.
you can't. I saw somebody on my Twitter the other day, which it really hurt my heart when I saw the tweet. It was like, stay at home and stay angry. And although I understand the passion of people in that they want to help, they want change, they want things to be different, I don't think staying angry will help anybody. It won't even help the people who are in need, right? So,
Yes.
what you can do is maximize the things that you can do, which is work and stay productive. If you can work and stay productive, enroll in things in online courses that will help you be a better person so that you can be a better part of your society, of your community. Third, like what Aaron was saying, connect with the people that you love and make sure that you're staying, making those connections stay even through these difficult times. Fourth, be a part of the solution. Like Chuck Araneta, putting together funds, procuring face masks and PPEs for our hospitals, praying for those people if you don't have the money yet too, and really just be an encouragement to everyone right now. Because staying angry while you're at home is not gonna do anyone any good, right,
It
Parts?
solves nothing. It solves nothing.
Yeah,
I completely agree, though, that we need to keep our eye open on what's happening in society. But at the
that's
same
right.
time, know what you can do from where you are. Yes, there are things in society that we obviously wish weren't the way that they were, or the way that some actions are being done that we wish weren't happening. But at the same time, we need to know what we can control. Know how
Mhm.
we see how they react, how they act, but know how we react.
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct that this is all coming from privilege. I mean, I, my heart breaks every single time, and I get anxiety attacks over and over and over again, thinking about all the lives that are affected by
Mhm.
the situation right now. And I pray every single night and every single morning that God will protect everyone here. And parts, me. I'm not as much of a prayerful person as you are, but now I know that sometimes that's really all we can do at
Yeah.
certain points in time. I don't know if we should stay angry. That might not be the way to go about it. Stay informed,
Yeah.
stay vigilant,
Vigilant.
and stay at home.
Yeah.
Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay at home.
The three things that we have to remember through this whole COVID pandemic thing and situation. I mean, we're gonna try and do this episode, this show
Yeah,
every day now.
yeah. Even if it's like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, we'll try and do a recap of what's happening around us in society, and then like what we had a while ago with the Netflix thing, we'll just throw in like some small bits and pieces of trying to have a real conversation, because that's what I hope everyone is going to be able to have very, very soon.
Yeah. So tomorrow, we're gonna share with you maybe the things that we've started to do that we never thought in our lifetime that we'll do while
Yes.
we're in while we're in quarantine. AKA, how do you make hot dog sinigang?
What?
You haven't seen
Oh
this on
Lord.
Facebook?
No, no.
It's- I mean, the stocks are running up, bro. Yung hipon wala doon. So what are you gonna make? Hot dog sinigang.
So that's why I thought that the way that we can end every single episode is ano ulam mo mamaya. And then we'll see how it gets worse and worse and worse as the days go by. It's gonna like
Okay.
downgrade as it goes along. So we're gonna start it
Sige.
today. What is ano ulam mo mamaya?
Anong ulam ko? Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's probably going
Or
to
ano ulam
be
mo kagabi?
I made
Para
tacos yesterday.
aba?
'Di ba?
Aba,
'Di ba?
tapos.
Wait lang parts. It was tacos with edamame and some soju with Yakult.
Oh, look at you! Look at you, domesticated wife you.
Kaya ako ko inasawa eh. Dapat talaga hindi mo masyadong ginagalingan eh. Lagi ako
Oh
sinasabihan
man.
ng pwede ka na mag-asawa. Wala, inasawa tuloy. How about you, Parts? What's your
Um,
ulam?
I had three cheese, which was Parmesan, mozzarella, and ricotta. Spaghetti last night, so it was like a nice little tomato base that I made myself. Fire roasted tomatoes, and I turned it into a pasta sauce.
Wow, husband that dude.
Telling you, girl, I cook for you. Anyone out there looking for someone to cook for you tonight? I got you. I got you.
O, diba? So, share with us anong ulam mo today
Yes.
on the comment section. We'll try to... I'll upload this right after we record it. So, hopefully, this brings joy, information, and really just entertainment to you guys.
I was thinking about it while I was in the shower getting ready for this because, those are the only times that I really have good ideas are in the bathroom. So it is like for me actually it's an SOS. Okay, it's a shot of sanity. That is how I look at this entire thing. Like talking to you, I know is a nice little shot of sanity for me, and I hope that it's the same way for everyone else.
And that's it for this episode. If you'd like to continue the conversation, go to www.joycepring.com. And if you want to support the podcast, go to patreon.com/adultingwithjoycepring. I'll talk to you guys soon. Paalam.